Hey guys, and welcome back to Altcoin Buzz Spotlight with me, Leia Heilpan, the show where we speak to entrepreneurs, innovators, and thought leaders in the cryptocurrency and the blockchain space. Joining me today is Stephen T, the founder of Harmony, the company focusing on scaling Ethereum applications and cross-chain finance. But before we jump in, don't forget to hit the like button and hit subscribe so you never miss a video. And also let us know in the comment section below who you want us to interview next and which topics you want us to cover. Stephen, welcome to Altcoin Buzz Spotlight. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Really wonderful to be here today.
Yeah, it's great to chat to you. I'm going to be really honest. I do own one, so I'm excited to chat to you because the price has been pumping a little bit, so it'll be cool just to understand why that's happening. But before we jump in, tell me, what is Harmony and what are some of your core aims and values?
Hey guys, we have been building Harmony as an open platform for everyone. Finally, everything is ready for us to build application that can really scale many of the Ethereum applications. But most of all, our vision is really bringing all the networks together. I'm talking about Cosmos, Ethereum, Polkadot. We will be Harmony as a hub for many of these cross-chain applications.
So speaking of this, how do you guys actually look to solve that blockchain trinity issue? You know, how are you going to solve this?
Right. The whole trilemma is the reason why we started 4 years ago. We're looking at this problem of we really want to build it to be open, so it has to be decentralized. We need it to be secure, so we need to be helped by many, many validators, thousands of them. But the last part is the most difficult. How do we scale it? We actually solved it by bringing the best research into production. We've been building for 3 years. The platform has been live for a year and a half. We really prove it that it is possible not to sacrifice any of this, while hopefully decades from now, that this platform will still be functional and helping creating new economy.
And there are a lot of Ethereum scaling solutions. So talk to me about how you guys are different. What are you doing that's different from all the others?
To summarize, this is the Ethereum 2, how it looks like. Proof of stake, sharding. Now everyone finally understands proof of stake. But sharding is still early, I would say. The fact that it will be uniformly scalable. So that, now there are more demands, I'll just add one more shard to your network and it will be scalable the way that the demands will come. It's really the vision why Ethereum 2 has been talking about for years, why day one would actually bring up a network to do benchmark and do TPS and all that, even with the sharding architecture. So we think our vision is going to be long-term, the right approach to take.
And you mentioned staking there. So talk to me, how do you actually incentivize staking? How do you incentivize all the different delegators, the validators? Exactly. Tell me the entire layout.
Yeah. So staking has been the key economic factor and design so that your platform is sustainable. As you guys heard about, Ethereum is going to be upgrade to EIP 1559 to really think hard about the money supply. And for us, we both work on the token economics, but also the on-chain delegation and slashing. So on the token economics, we have done the almost 50 years of simulations of what the tokens economics and demand and the supply will be, and by that time, what there will be reward. Currently, this is 12%. We've already hundreds of millions stuck in it. And the same thing with the on-chain delegation. Most network just say, we'll make it multi-sig one day, governance by people, but now hundreds and thousands of delegators already on a network, both in terms of how they say, it's not just meaning having a separate pool and I delegate to you and you can't on my money, but the fact that if anything misbehaving, we'll slash it on the chain. So the economic aspect and the security aspect are the critical factors for us.
And I want to talk about one, right? So I said at the beginning that I bought a bag of one, I think nearly maybe a year ago.
Wow.
I just figured, Yeah, it's just a small bag. It's just a tiny bag. I haven't made any life-changing gains. I wish. But I bought a little bag just because I fancied it. I was just looking through CoinMarketCap and I was just like, yeah, sure. But so talk to me about its use case. Where does this value come from? Of course, it's been pumping right now. So why is it pumping? Is this just because, we're in a bit of a bull market, or is there more to it?
Yeah, it's always about adoption. We have been building for 3 years. We have been a little bit academic, research, builder mindset for a few years to think about we must not just miss this opportunity. We're very lucky to raise a big round very early on. If we are just thinking about what can be the valuation from the very early on, then we missed out a good time. Also in the bear markets, to focus on the products. So all these hard architecture, bringing researchers in to collaborate together is what we've been doing in a few years. And our community is very strong through the Binance IO, through the US listing, through many of the community events. We have thousands of validators. So we know our community is very vibrant. But you ask what's the utility? And since the second half of the last year, it really showed strong adoption. We switched it to completely Ethereum tooling compatible, so that people can just switch the chain ID and start using our chain. So to many developers, this is a godsend for them. You guys are also interested in why now suddenly the sentiment attention is also true. Because people can not just come to our platform and see our plan and vision, but also using our product. As you said to us, this year even stronger. Hopefully, we'll bring in thousands, if not a million users to think about what can they do.
And talk to me about one burning. How does it work, and when can we expect this coming up?
So our tokens has always have a very low emission rate, both the staking as well as the long-term token economics has always keep it really under a sustainable rate and really tied to the transaction. We did the burn last year when we were helping the validators to come on board, and we say everything the foundation tokens earned so far in the first year, even though we started our network in 2019, we burned that. That's really our belief that the tokens and the earnings should belong to the community.
And talk to me about the grants program. What is it and how's it been going?
Yeah, doing great. So we started many grants last year. We set it off with 7 million to begin with. Hopefully this year we can even up it. We even are reorganizing, telling people like what are the key impact area that we can come with. Most of all, setting the price tag at 7 million was just a great way to start engaging. We have multiple hackathons and bounties already, so that many developers through ETH Denver, through our own bridge hackathon with 30 good judges from the industry coming in. We have many applications showcasing that. But most of all, now our grant size can really going up now. We've been keeping $50,000, $100,000, but we really plan to even up that. Now that our price as well as our treasury has significantly increased, we really believe it should really belong to the community and the developers. One more thing. We also started with the community DAO, the DAO, to help the community really manage their own fund. Even with that, there are like $200,000 there that is completely off of our team, but fully multi-sig. Hopefully the community can make great use of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And also you have more announcements. So back in September 2020, you had a partnership with Sandbox. So this is really interesting. And given everything that's going on right now with NFTs, I wondered if you had any plans to dabble in that area.
Absolutely. Sandbox have done very well. We have our long-term partner in the Mocha that has been really the thought leader since we started 3 years ago, that we did very early on, that they have branded asset. Really, there are digital arts and there are community that we went to Miami to see many of the fashion and graffiti artists really excited about coming to Harmony. But then there's also the last part about the mainstream branded asset that everyone need long-term business development relationship that both quit as well as Animoca as our partner has brought on. So we will have lots of initiatives. We launched one earlier this year. We'll launch more about on this branded asset. Hopefully, it's not just about a few people interested in generated arts for a profile, virtual worlds, but my mom and my friends that don't know about crypto will relate to, whether like NBA Top Shot compared to even many of the Japanese animation art. There are lots of branding that we see that will make sense.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been talking about mass adoption for years, and I think it's been really hard to kind of sell this other than, Bitcoin and the gains that you can make. But we're starting to see some real world mass adoption and people actually being able to relate to cryptocurrencies through NFTs. So I definitely think it's going to be really interesting. I've seen some major people talking about NFTs over the last few weeks. So I'm fascinated to see that this is kind of the door, which is bringing people in. So it's very cool. But you have an integration with the Ethereum network. You're trying to bring in WBTC. So once you've done this, what other integrations, what other news do you have in the pipeline?
Yeah, I have so much to say about NFT, but I think you know more already. And on the next part, when we say about adoption, are we talking about like a few more 10,000 of people, all these investors making more money, or we're talking about mainstream artists and people that can relate to the community that can the NFT? But that part, I think many people know, and we hope to have a few more announcements coming that you guys will be excited about. But then the key part, as you asked me, what about the infrastructure itself, right? I see two key parts. The first part you mentioned about all these bridges. We launched the Ethereum bridge even back in October to really think about where are the liquidity, where are the assets. And it's very clear that this is what developers need. And just last week, we launched the Binance Smart Chain bridges as well. Now, Harmony finally realized as a hub for all these major networks, as I said at the beginning. So we are very excited that both all the activities and yield farmings and where the asset, where you really want to store the thing is up to you, and Harmony being the hub.
It all sounds really exciting, and this space is so new, still quite experimental. So I'm always really fascinated to see how it grows, which projects, really take off. So I want to wish you the best of luck, and it's been a pleasure chatting to you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you guys. Love to be here.